another pretrial, and it shouldn't take two. That shouldn't be.
All right, we lost Ms. Underwood for some reason, so we'll give her a minute to see if she reappears.
I just gone through. We got one dead daddy in Panama. Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, we have Ms. Underwood back. She should be here. I'll bring her in. All right, Ms. Underwood, you disappeared on us. You were saying that you wanted some additional time to have a meeting with Mr. Watts.
That's correct, Your Honor. I feel that would be appropriate in this matter, but it shouldn't. We don't need to set it too far out, Your Honor.
All right. Earliest available date I've got open right now is September 15th at 8:15.
That should work, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Underwood, would you prepare a stipulation in order, please?
Ms. Wise, may I sign with your permission?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
and I apologize, Ms. Wise, is there anything that we need to address from the people's side?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Wise.
All right, we can conclude then, and Mr. Watts, you can tell the officer that's with you that you're done in court.
All right.
You can call the jail and ask for Keith Rose.
Can we have Keith Rose, please? Yes. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Glazer, are you ready to go on the record with Ms. Double then?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Can
All
you
right.
guys hear me?
We can, thank you. We are on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christine Double. It is found in 21-20206-FH. Today's the date set for a pretrial conference in this matter. We are proceeding by a video conference. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record and indicate whether they have any objection to proceeding this way, beginning with Ms. Muir for the people.
Phoebe Muir on behalf of the people, and I'm filling in for prosecutor of record Angie Borders, and we have no objection to appearing via Zoom.
John Glazer on behalf of Christine Double, and we have no objection.
All right, and Mr. Glazer, where do we stand with this case today?
Your Honor, I've given Ms. Meir some questions I'd ask of Angie Borders to get back with me on. And so we'd like to adjourn it for pretrial, continue it as a pretrial.
All right, Ms. Meir, anything we need to address from the people's side?
No, Your Honor. I'll relay what John and I have spoken about to Ms. Borders, so that we'll be ready for the next pretrial.
Okay. How about September 22nd at 10 a.m.?
That's my wife's birthday. I have to miss it in the morning.
We can pick another date if that's going to cause problems at home. I don't.
She wanted to be up at 10.
All right. So we'll set it for September 22nd at 10 a.m. Mr. Glazer, can your office do a stipulation in order?
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Double, you will need to log back in on September 22nd at 10 a.m. You'll use all the same information that you used today.
Okay,
You can go ahead and log out then.
thank you.
And Mr. Glazer, I have Jacob Elliott here. I think he's one of yours.
That's correct, John.
Do you need a breakout session? Anyone before we start that one?
No, no, I'm ready.
Okay, we have Mr. Elliott with us now, so we are on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jacob Elliott. It's file number 21-20193-FC. Today's the date set for a pretrial conference. In this matter, we are proceeding by a video conference that's being streamed to a YouTube channel. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Ms. Meir for the people.
Phoebe Meir on behalf of the people, once again appearing for prosecutor of record Angie Borders, and I have no objection to appearing via Zoom.
John Glazer appearing on behalf of Jacob Elliott. We have no objection.
All right, and Mr. Glazer, where do we stand with this case today?
Your Honor, I had a chance to talk with Ms. Meir on this one, and like the other one, there's some questions I had that need to be answered by Ms. Borders, and she said she would pass that information on, and I'll wait till Angie Borders gets back in touch with me. So I'd like to adjourn this pretrial as well.
All right, Ms. Meir, anything from the people's side?
No, Your Honor.
All right, why don't we go with the same date then, September 22nd at 10 a.m. And Ms. Meir, would your office be willing to do a stipulation in order on this one?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, anything else we need to address in Mr. Elliott's case today?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Elliott, you can go ahead and log out. You'll need to log back in on September 22nd at 10 a.m. You'll use all of the same information that you used to log in today.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I have added the jail to the meeting. The video at the jail is not on and the microphone is muted. So if there's anyone there at the jail that can hear me, we'll need to have you turn on the camera and unmute the audio. Mr. Glazer, have Emily Fox here as well. Do you need a breakout session with anyone before we go on the record with her?
Yeah, I'd like to talk to Isaac. I think it's Isaac's case.
Yeah, let me set that up. All right, are we ready to go on the record now?
I'd need to speak with Miss Fox.
Okay.
Sure. Thanks.
So Ms. Fox has been joined to the meeting. She hasn't connected her audio yet. Camera's not on either. I sent her a request to start her camera so that at least we know she's there. When she does that, I can put up some instructions on how to connect her audio. The camera's off. Microphone.
Judge asked me to let you know that the camera is off and it's muted usually when communicating. All right, thank you.
All right, Ms. Glazer and Ms. Fox still does not have her audio connected or her camera on. I don't know if you have any way to call her and let her know that she's brought into the meeting.
Let's see. I can give her a try.
Is that working now, Judge?
Yeah, we can see and hear you now.
Okay.
This is Emily Fox. Hey, you're supposed to be on Zoom right now. She thinks she's on, Judge.
Yeah, she's been brought into the meeting. Her camera is off and she's not connected her audio yet. So there's no way to communicate with her through
The
Zoom.
camera's off and you're not connected to your audio. I don't know. Does it say somewhere camera on or connect to audio? All right, leave and do it again. She's gonna try it again, Judge.
All right. In the meantime, we'll move to Mr. Rose. Ms. Underwood, do you need to speak with Mr. Rose before we get started?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Fox, are you able to hear us?
I'm gonna hang up.
All right, I'm going to set up a breakout room for you and Mr. Glazier.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Glazier, are you ready to go on the record then?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right. On the record in People versus Emily Nicole Fox, file 21-20348-FH. Today's a pretrial conference. We are proceeding by video conference being streamed to the YouTube channel. First, let me have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, beginning with Mr. Sneed.
Isaac Sneed on behalf of the people. We have no objection to proceeding live.
John Glazier on behalf of Ms. Fox, we have no objection.
All right, Mr. Glazier, where do we stand with this case today?
Your Honor, she is going to plead to an added count of use of methamphetamine with the understanding she'd waive PSI and asked to be sentenced today. It's my understanding that you're going to continue her on probation with, who is it with, Isaac?
It's Miss Walsh, and she's on board, Your Honor, with continued circuit court probation.
This situation where she'd already.
I guess I don't understand that. What do you mean continuing on probation?
She's already on probation. What happened, Your Honor, was she's pled to 4 charges a while back, and this was a straggler and kind of got issued after she had pled to the 4 charges. So she's going to plea to use and just I guess it'd be a Cobb's or whatever. We're asking, I guess it won't be Cobb's. We're just asking you to put her on probation. She already is on probation with Miss Walsh on those other charges. They're drug charges, same as this.
All right, I may very well be willing to do that, but I'm not willing to not go through the PSI process and have a recommendation. So,
That's fine.
you know, I'm not going to do the sentencing part. If she wants to plead, we can do that. And if everyone's on board with that, then fine. But
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
all right. So it's an added count. So we're going to need an amended information from Mr. Sneed. And I'm sorry, what will the added count be?
Use of methamphetamine.
All right. All right, Mr. Sneed, if you'll get us that amended information, we will proceed as soon as we have that. Ms. Fox, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room until we have that amended information.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Underwood, we're bringing Mr. Rose back in. Are you ready to go on the record with him when he gets back here?
Could I be put in a breakout with Ms. Brenner and Ms. Holly, perhaps, Your Honor?
As soon as the breakout session closes and Mr. Rose gets transferred back, I'll set that up.
Thank you.
All right, let me recreate those breakouts. All right, Ms. Muir, Mr. Glazer, are you ready to do George Phillips?
Yeah, he's on a Zoom in our office.
All right, Ms. Muir, are you ready to go on the record with Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
So we're on the record then in the matter of the People versus George Reed Phillips. It's file 20-19956-FH. Today is the date set for pretrial conference in this matter. We are proceeding today by video conference. It's being streamed to a YouTube channel. First, let me have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, beginning with Mr. Glazier for the People.
John Glazier on behalf of Mr. Phillips.
I apologize. Thank you. And Ms. Muir for the People.
Phoebe Muir on behalf of the people, and I am appearing for prosecutor of record Angie Borders, and we have no objection.
All right. Where do we stand with this case today, Mr. Glazier?
Your Honor, I think it's going to continue on the trial docket, so I guess we'll need a pretrial. It's been a little while since I talked to Mr. Phillips. My understanding is, though, that while I was gone, somebody did file a motion. I need to review that motion with Mr. Phillips and do some other things.
All right, there was a motion filed. We did have an initial hearing on that last week, but there was one issue left open as to, we needed essentially to decide whether there needed to be an evidentiary hearing on, I think it was the issue of who owned the phone or something along those lines. So I think it's probably then appropriate to adjourn from another pretrial while that issue gets worked out with the prosecution and we figure out whether we need a hearing on that issue or not.
Okay.
Ms. Muir, anything to be addressed from the people's side at this point?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
All right, so let's set this then for September 29th at 8:15 a.m. Mr. Phillips, you'll either need to log back in yourself or go to the public defender's office to log back in at that time. You'll use all the same information that you used here today. In the meantime, if you, Mr. Glazier, have discussions with the prosecution and we need to have an evidentiary hearing on that motion, let's try to get that scheduled as quickly as we can.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Glazier, would your office be willing to do a stipulation in order for that adjournment, please?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Phillips, you can go ahead and log out.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's all I have with you. I'll see you later.
All right, Ms. Glazier, before you go, we did have a PPO for Dominic Rodriguez that my docket indicates it's Ms. Van Duzen, but she doesn't appear to be here today. Do you know anything about that?
Your Honor, I believe that's mine.
Okay.
I spoke with Mr. Rodriguez yesterday.
Okay, thank you. Thanks then, Mr. Glazier, you can go ahead and log out.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right, are we ready to go on the record with Mr. Rose then?
Your Honor, if I could just speak to Mr. Rose for 1 minute and then we'll be ready.
All right, yeah, 1 second. All right. Mr. Murphy, if you are there, could you let me know what cases you have this morning? Can't tell if you're speaking, Mr. Murphy, but I can't hear anything if you are.
Sorry, Your Honor. I have muted myself. I have at 8:15. I have George Castro, Kyle Eichler, Jeremy Halter, and I think Joseph Seavey. I also have 10 o'clocks, Marty Mitchell and Kayla Pate.
Okay, I got Castro, Eichler, and Zeevy. I think you said another one, but I didn't catch it.
Jeremy Halter.
Halter. All right, Ms. Underwood, are you ready to go on the record with Mr. Rose then?
I am, Your Honor. Apologize for the delay.
No problem. We are on the record now in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Keith Edward Rose Jr. It's file number 19564-FH. Today's the date set for a pretrial on a violation of probation. We are proceeding today as a video conference. It's being streamed to a YouTube channel. First, let me have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, beginning with Ms. Brenner.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sarah Brenner, Assistant Attorney General for the People. No objection to proceeding via Zoom.
Rhonda Underwood for Mr. Rose this morning. No objection. Is Mr. Rose back from the breakout yet, Your Honor?
He is not. Thank you for letting me know that. I will close it now and bring him back.
Sorry, Your Honor.
No, thank you. I missed that one. So it'll take a minute for him to get forced back over if he doesn't move himself over. We do have Mr. Rose back in the main session now. So Ms. Underwood, how would he like to proceed today?
At this time, Your Honor, we would like the court to continue the not guilty plea and set this matter, if possible, for next Wednesday, Your Honor. By that time, I think we will be able to resolve this matter, Your Honor.
Judge, I do want to say something on the record regarding the result. The breath alcoholizer result is different from what I have typed on there. I got the police report and it's a 0.207. I would amend that.
Okay, so what you're indicating, Ms. Holly, is that the request and warrant for probation violation, as it is now, reads 0.027, and you're indicating that it should read 0.207?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. We do not have court next week, so the first available we could do is August 18th at 8:15.
Wow.
You want to just do it today, Rhonda?
Yeah, Mr. Rose,
Yeah.
did you want to enter that plea today? If you don't enter it today, it will have to be the 18th.
I'll just. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You don't have to, but if you'd like this addressed sooner than the 18th,
Well, I guess let's just wait. Let's just wait.
I'm sorry?
Should we, I mean, what is your opinion on it? Should we wait or should we go now or?
I'll, Ben,
I can put you in a breakout session if
Yeah.
you want.
thank you.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Fry, I do have Mr. Kaufman here. I think he was at 10 o'clock, but he's logged in, so.
And I did notify Stephanie I have a jury trial downstairs today, so I was hoping to get my clients in fairly into the court and get them.
Try to get 2 years. Okay, we are. So, Mr. Kaufman, are you able to hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Kaufman?
I can, sir.
All right, so we're on the record then in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Roderick Allen Kaufman, file number 20-20022-FH. Today is the date set for a pretrial conference in this matter. We are proceeding by video conference with the exception that Mr. Fry is here present in the courtroom. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Ms. Muir for the people.
Phoebe Muir on behalf of the people.
Brian Fry on behalf of Roderick Kaufman.
I just was going to say I have no objection to a partial Zoom pretrial.
All right. Thank you. And Mr. Fry, where do we stand with this case today?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, there's no agreement. We are prepared to proceed to trial. So we would ask the court to either set a trial if the court's able or another pretrial, I guess.
Do we want to do a pretrial in October and see if we can't get a trial date set after that?
That's fine with me.
By then
All
we
right.
may have more of the in-custody trials done or at least scheduled.
The alternative would be that I can put you on the trial docket sometime probably looking at the open dates right now, we're looking into November with the understanding that if we had an incarcerated defendant that would probably bump you at that time. So Fry, you have any preference on how you'd like to handle that?
I'd probably prefer to set a pre-trial just so we can get a firm trial date, but if the court feels otherwise, then that's fine too.
Right. Okay, we are working through getting the incarcerated defendants on the schedule, and I think that'll clear up relatively soon. So if you're looking at October for another pretrial, we could do October 6th at 10 a.m. if that is available.
That works for me, Aaron.
Okay, and would you be willing to prepare that stipulation in order, Mr. Fry?
I can do that, Your Honor.
Okay, so next date, Mr. Kaufman, will be October 6th at 10 a.m. and you'll need to log in with all the same information that you used to log in today.
Okay.
With that, you can go ahead and log out.
Ms. Muir, can I sign your name to that slip with your permission?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so let's go back to Mr. Rose. So we're back on the record in the matter of People versus Keith Edward Rose Jr. Ms. Underwood, you know how Mr. Rose would like to proceed.
I believe Mr. Rose would like to enter a plea in this matter, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Rose, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty for perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rose, do you understand that you have a right to contest this violation of probation charge and to have a trial on it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that throughout that trial, you would be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven by a preponderance of the evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to have all of the witnesses against you appear at your trial, to have your lawyer ask those witnesses questions, or you could ask them questions yourself, and have me order any witnesses that you have for your defense to appear at your trial. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not required to testify at your trial, and no one can say anything about you not testifying or hold that against you in any way. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the other hand, do you also understand that you have the right to testify at your trial if you wanted to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead then to this charge that you violated your probation?
Guilty.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up your right to a trial and the right to have a lawyer's assistance at that trial, as I've already explained?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anything been promised to you in order to get you plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone threatened you in any way in order to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
If I accept the plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of threats or promises that were not disclosed to the court on the record here this morning, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty today, Mr. Rose?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Rose, you were placed on probation back in January of 2020. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And one of the terms of your probation was that you not consume any alcohol. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you consume some alcohol on July 27th, 2021?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was a breathalyzer test given to you at that point?
Yes, Your Honor.
And when you did the blood alcohol test, did you blow a .207?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I will accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. Mr. Rose has full knowledge of his rights. He has had competent counsel. I will refer this matter to the probation department for an update of the pre-sentence investigation. And sentencing will be on August 20th, 2021 at 8:15 a.m. Mr. Rose, the probation officer will be in touch with you to do an update of your pre-sentence investigation interview. Please be truthful when you do that interview about this offense and about your background.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Mr. Rose, you can go
Yeah,
back.
sorry, I'm just trying to figure out who I need at the jail next. Mr. Fry, you don't have anyone that's in jail right now?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Rose, if you could tell them that we would like Mr. Castro, oh, he's not there.
I'm ready.
Sorry, if you could tell them that we need Mr. Castro next, I would appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, did you say something about Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, I do have him. Do you need a conference with him, Ms. Underwood?
I spoke with him yesterday. I do not believe we need a conference at this time, Your Honor.
All right. He's on the first page. Right under the agreements. Okay, we are on the record in the matter of Christina Ramos versus Dominic Rodriguez. It is file number 21-48292-PP. Today is the date set for a pretrial on a show cause for violation of personal protection order. We are proceeding today as a video conference. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Ms. Muir.
Phoebe Muir on behalf of the people. Well, on behalf of Ms. Ramos, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Rhonda, I'll do it on behalf of Mr. Rodriguez for the Public Defender's Office, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Underwood, do you know how Mr. Ramos or Mr. Rodriguez would like to proceed today?
I believe Mr. Rodriguez wishes to acknowledge his mistake, Your Honor, and plead guilty to this violation.
All right. Mr. Rodriguez, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, do you understand that you have the right to contest this violation of probation, violation of protection, personal protection order, and to have a trial on it?
Yes, sir.
You understand that throughout the trial, you would be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to have all of the witnesses against you appear at your trial, to have your lawyer ask those witnesses questions, or you could ask them questions yourself.
Yes,
and
Your
have
Honor.
the order of witnesses that you might have for your defense to appear at your trial. You understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do not have to testify at your trial, and no one can say anything about you not testifying or hold that against you in any way. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the other hand, do you understand that you do have a right to testify at your trial if you wanted to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead then to this charge that you violated the personal protection order?
Guilty.
So you are, you at some point were served with a copy of the personal protection order that Ms. Ramos had against you. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're aware that that personal protection order prohibited you from contacting her by telephone. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And at some point, did you contact her by telephone?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is it that you did?
Called her work. I did not get in full contact with her, but I did call her work.
All right. Did that occur on May 26th of this year?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I will accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. Mr. Rodriguez has full knowledge of his rights, and he has had competent counsel. Ms. Underwood, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Rodriguez before the court passes sentence?
Your Honor, Mr. Rodriguez understands that he has to be much more careful. He shouldn't have called her work. They put it through to her extension. That's not acceptable, and he understands that. I believe that he intends to do better in the future, Your Honor, and there will be no repeat of this. It's my understanding this is Mr. Rodriguez's first violation, Your Honor, and I would hope that the court would consider a fine an appropriate sentence in this matter.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
Yeah, just as following with her, it will not be repeated again. I think a fine is appropriate. And I do understand my rights, and I do understand the protection order as well. And it will not be a mistake that will be repeated.
All right, Ms. Muir, the people wish to be heard at all before sentence.
I would leave it in the discretion of the court, but I believe Ms. Ramos is present, and I don't know if she wishes to address the court or not.
Ms. Ramos is present here in the courtroom. Ms. Ramos, is there anything that you would like to say before the court passes?
No.
Thank you. All right, so this is a first violation of personal protection order. In looking back through how we came to have the personal protection order be put in place, there was a long string of messages and telephone calls. I think at this point, Mr. Rodriguez, the best thing I can say to you is that you need to move on with your life and, get through the remaining period of this personal protection order and just be done with it. Will be the sense of the court that you pay a fine in the amount of $150 payable within 30 days of today's date. I think it's also important for you to know that I treat situations like this typically on an escalating punishment system. So I know you've said that there won't be any future violations. If there are, you need to know that any fines or additional punishment in the form of jail time would go up from here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Then you can go ahead and log out.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be back in a bit.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Underwood.
10 o'clock.
All right.
I'll be back in a bit.
Mr. Murphy, we do have Mr. Castro here.
Could I have a brief breakout session, Mr. Castro, please?
Okay, I do have the amended information now on Ms. Fox.
Your Honor, I have not read the information, but we would waive it. It's my understanding there's an added count of use of methamphetamine.
All right, so we are on the record now in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Emily Nicole Fox. It's file number 21-20348-FH. Today's date set for pretrial conference on this record. We have addressed the issue previously, and we're waiting on an amended information that I've received at this point. Ms. Fox, would you like to raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
And you are Emily Nicole Fox, is that correct?
Yes.
Ms. Fox, you previously heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty today to count 3 on the amended information, use of methamphetamine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Glazier and the advice that he's given you?
Yes.
Do you understand that the maximum penalty for this offense is up to 1 year in jail and or a $2,000 fine?
Yes.
Neither the prosecutor, defendant, or anyone acting on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court other than as we've discussed on the record here today. Is that correct, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Glazier?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Is that also your understanding, Ms. Fox?
Yes.
The guilty plea is accepted. There will be no trial. That means you'll be giving up the rights that you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You do have the right to a speedy public trial by jury. You could ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and the court agreed, you could have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty. And you do not
I
have
talked to him and I said that we have to wait for the unemployment to hard post because it's pending. So tomorrow we should be able to withdraw the unemployment, but the check is on hold for 5 days. Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. All right, so if you want to stop by tomorrow, we can get the unemployment. Okay, thank All you.
right.
Sorry about that. But
All right,
yes,
So I guess let me start over with the rights that you have and that you're giving up. So you have the right to a speedy public trial by jury. You can ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and the court
Emily Fox is
you
fine.
could have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have the witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses that you have for your defense to appear at your trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not have that silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you wanted to testify. You understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at a trial.
yes,
You also understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to this plea would be by application for leave to appeal and not by right.
yes,
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, conviction of a crime can result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that I've told you about?
no, Your Honor.
And you understand you're giving those rights up.
Yes,
How do you wish to plead then to the charge that on or about December 4, 2019 in Rome Township, Lenawee County, Michigan, that you did commit the offense of use of methamphetamine?
I plead guilty.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to induce you to plead guilty to that charge?
No,
Do you understand that if I accept the plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that the plea is given as a result of threats or promises that were not disclosed to the court on the record here this morning, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea?
yes,
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises, threats, or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Fox, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence would be?
I was told that it was estimated that my probation would be continued and that the charge would be added to the charges I was already found guilty of.
All right, you understand that ultimately that your sentence will be decided by me after I've had a chance to review the pre-sentence investigation report.
Yes,
And you understand that that might be the same thing that you've been estimated, or it could be something different than what you've been estimated.
okay.
Mr. Glazier, would you like to establish a factual basis?
Yes, yeah, yes. Emily, on what was it, February 24th? Was that the date?
December 4th of 2019.
Yeah, I mean, on December 4th of last year, were you in possession of some methamphetamine?
Yes,
And
I'm sorry, Mr. Glazier, just so I can have a clear record, you had said last year. This is 2019.
2019, okay. Yeah, So actually not last year, it'd be 2 years ago. Is that correct, Emily?
Yes, I had been in possession of methamphetamine.
Okay, you were using methamphetamine at the time.
Yes.
Is that right? Are you in drug court right now? Yes or no?
I am
No?
on probation. No,
Just
I'm
on
not.
Okay. All right. I don't have any other questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Sneed, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I will accept the plea then. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. And it has full knowledge of her rights. She has had competent counsel. The court's not made any agreement regarding the possibility of plea, possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, defense attorney, defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of any of them. We'll refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation and set sentencing for September 10, 2021 at 8:15 a.m. Ms. Fox, someone from the probation department will be in touch with you to do a pre-sentence investigation interview. When you do that interview, please be truthful about this offense and your background.
Yes, sir.
So you will need to log in again on September 10, 2021 at 8:15 a.m. and you'll use all the same information that you used to log in today.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Fox, has your address changed at all since you did your last pre-sentence investigation?
No.
Your current probation agent has all your contact information, phone number and everything?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, you can go ahead and log out then.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm logging out too.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Murphy, I've just closed the breakout room with Mr. Castro. Mr. Fry, you do have Mr. Sherwood here. You want to step up, we will take care of that before Mr. Castro comes back. All right, we are on the record now in the, sorry. All right, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Nicholas Ross Sherwood. It is file number 21-20404-FH. Today's date set for a pretrial conference in this matter. We are proceeding today as a video conference is being streamed to a YouTube channel. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Ms. Muir.
Phoebe Muir on behalf of the people.
Brian Fry on behalf of Nicholas Sherwood.
All right, and Mr. Fry, where do we stand with this case today?
Your Honor, I believe a plea agreement has been reached with the prosecutor's office in this case, and Mr. Sherwood would be entering a plea to attempted larceny from a motor vehicle and would be sentenced under the Homes Youth Training HIDA Act.
I was not aware that a plea was going to be entered, so I don't have an amended information prepared, but I can get that done.
Mr. Fleming had indicated yesterday that he had prepared one, but maybe it didn't get sent.
Let me find out.
Not have one in the file.
So I apologize. It doesn't look like that got done yesterday, but it's going to be worked on right now.
Okay, Ms. Sherwood, I'm going to place you back in the waiting room for just a moment. And as soon as we have the amended information in your case, we'll bring you back in. Mr. Murphy, you ready to go back on the record with go on the record with Mr. Castro?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Castro, if you're there, if you could get yourself in front of the camera so we can see you. All right, so we are on the record now in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus George Castro. It's following the 21-20273-FH. Today's the date set for a pretrial conference in this matter. We're proceeding today by a video conference. It's being streamed via YouTube channel. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Ms. Muir for the people.
Phoebe Muir on behalf of the people.
Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Castro, is appearing today via Zoom from Illinois County Jail as well.
Thank you. And Mr. Murphy, where do we stand with Mr. Castro's case today?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we are going to ask if this court could schedule a jury trial as soon as you can find it in its schedule to do so, and maybe a settlement conference, a final settlement conference before that jury trial date.
All right, Mr. Murphy, do you know how long you think you'll need for a trial?
Well, I can't speak for the prosecution, but I believe that 1 day will be sufficient for my estimation.
I would agree.
Okay, let's do this. How about October 5th at 9 a.m.? What I don't know right now is what we may have to do in terms of jury selection. As you may know, the COVID case count has been going up again. We don't currently have restrictions in place that would prevent us from doing it here in the courtroom. However, if things continue, if the trend lines continue as they are, we may need to make an alternate arrangement for the jury selection. So I guess what I'd like to do is set it for October 5th and also the 6th at 1:30. So that'd give us a day and a half in the event that we needed to select a jury at an off-site location and give us some more time.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
And I know this case is fairly new and we haven't had too many pre-trials yet. I guess I'm just wondering if there's any anticipated motions or anything, given that that is October isn't too far in the grand scheme of things.
Not that I'm not anticipating anything right now, Ms. Muir.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're ready for it. And then are we going to do a final pre-trial?
I would ask if we could, Your Honor, simply because Mr. Castro has other he has other misdemeanors that are being handled in district court. Just one final pretrial is what I'm asking for, to make sure we have everything coordinated and make sure we figured everything out in regards to the cases.
All right, how about on September 29th at 8:15 a.m. then?
Thank you, Your Honor, that would work.
Okay, anything else to address in this case then?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor.
All right, we will be sending out a scheduling order that includes those dates. It also includes some information about motion filing deadlines, should there be any motions, submission of exhibits, and submission of jury instructions. So please review that carefully when you get it.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Castro, you can tell the officer that's with you that you are done in court, and we'll take Tony Bradford next if they have him available. Oh, the jail better log out for some reason. Mr. Friday, are you going to do anything on the record with Ms. Yoder, or do you want to just in another day?
Yeah, we don't have an agreement, so we would just be getting another day.
Okay, for the person that just joined the meeting, your screen name is Moto G Power. Can you tell me your name, please?
Christina Halter.
I'm sorry, I wasn't able to hear you.
Christina Halter.
All right. All right, Ms. Halter, I'm going to place you back in the waiting room for just a minute while we take care of another case. All right, Ms. Goldstein, we're still waiting on the jail to log back in.
I understand, Your Honor. All my people with you are in custody today, I believe.
Nope.
All right, Ms. Halter, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't show you on our docket for anything today. Can you tell me why you're here?
Your Honor, this is Matthew Murphy. It's probably in relation to Jeremy Halter's case. There is a bond condition that involves Ms. Halter.
All right.
I think in regards to Mr. Halter's case, there may be something that we work out today, and if bond is addressed, obviously Ms. Halter is here, I guess, to have let the court know her opinion on the bond conditions.
I believe
All right.
she's just here observing, Your Honor. We did not ask her to be here this morning.
All right, Ms. Halter, I'm going to put you in the waiting room. If you want to know what is happening, we are live streaming this to a YouTube channel, so you'll be able to watch it there. So I'll put you in the waiting room, and if we need you for anything, I'll bring you back in, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I do have the amended information now on Mr. Sherwood. Okay, we are back on the record in the matter of the people of state of Michigan versus Nicholas Ross Sherwood. It is file number 21-204-0-FH. Today is the date set for a pretrial conference. We've been waiting on an amended information, which I do have now. Mr. Fry, would your client like the amended information read at this time?
No, Your Honor, that's fine.
All right. Mr. Sherwood, would you raise your right hand, please? Sir, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty for perjury?
Yes, Your
Honor. I need you to say that again. Your microphone did not catch your voice there.
Yes, Your Honor.
Much better. Thank you. Mr. Sherwood, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty today to count 2, attempted larceny from a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Fry and the advice that he's given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that the maximum penalty for this offense is up to 2.5 years in prison and/or a $5,000 fine.
Yes, sir.
Neither the prosecutor, defendant, or anyone acting on the defendant's behalf has discussed possible sentence with court other than as we discussed on the record here this morning. Is that correct, Ms. Meir?
That's correct.
And Mr. Fry?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that also your understanding, Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.
If guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. That means you'll be giving up the rights that you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You do have the right to a speedy public trial by jury. You can't ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and the court agreed, you could have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial, to have the witnesses against you appear at your trial, and to ask those witnesses questions. You also have the right to have the court order any witnesses that you have for your defense to appear at your trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not have that silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you wanted to testify. Do you understand, Mr. Sherwood, that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you also understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea would be by application for leave to appeal and not by right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime can result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about any of those rights?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
And you understand that you're giving those rights up?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you wish to plead then to the charge that on or about October 11, 2020 in Madison Township, Lenawee County, Michigan, that you did commit the offense of attempted larceny from a motor vehicle?
I plead guilty.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to that charge?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if I accept the plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that the plea is given as a result of threats or promises that were not disclosed to the court on the record here this morning, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises, threats, or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. Mr. Sherwood, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence would be other than as we've discussed on the record here today?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Fry, would you like to establish a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sherwood, were you in Madison Township, Lenawee County on October 11th, 2020?
Yes, Your Honor.
And were you in a vehicle with some other individuals at that time?
Yes.
And did you go to Greg Bell Chevrolet?
Yes, we did.
And did you or the individuals you were with take some wheels or tires off of some cars at the dealership?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and what was it exactly that was taken?
The wheels off of a truck.
Okay. And did any of you have consent to take those wheels?
No, we did not.
Okay. And were the wheels moved off of the dealership property?
Yes, they were.
And was the intention to keep those wheels?
Yes.
And there was no plans to return the wheels to the dealership, is that right?
No. Or sorry, yes, that's right.
Okay. So there was no intention for anybody to return the wheels to the dealership?
No, there was no intention on returning them.
Okay, thank you. I just want to be clear on that. And the wheels were taken off of a truck, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I don't believe I have anything further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Muir, anything?
If I could just ask one more question. Mr. Sherwood, were you with Clayton Wright and Jordan Kwan when you did this?
Yes.
Okay, I'm satisfied with the factual basis.
All right, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D, Ms. Meir?
It has.
Mr. Fry?
Yes, it has, Your Honor.
I will accept the plea then. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. Mr. Sherwood has full knowledge of his rights and he has had competent counsel. Of course, not made any agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case. Prosecutor, defense attorney, defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of any of them, other than as we have discussed on the record here this morning. I will refer this matter to the probation department for pre-sentence investigation. The sentencing date will be September 16, 2021 at 8:15 a.m. Mr. Sherwood, someone from the probation department will be in touch with you to do a pre-sentence investigation interview. When you do that interview, please be truthful about this offense and about your background.
Okay.
Ms. Holly, do you need to get any information from Mr. Sherwood?
Well, I have an address. I don't know if it's right. Maybe I need a phone number.